Hello Orchid friends, welcome back to my channel. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day, staying healthy and staying safe. Today we have a mini Phalaenopsis here. According to my friends, and after some comparison, we think this is a pink girl. It did not come with a name tag, hence the question mark at the end of its name. I've had this orchid for at least 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. Ever since I got it, every year it would rebloom. I got this orchid at a grocery store, just like how I got my mini Phalaenopsis. Grocery store phal. It was like $5.99 or $6.99. It was really inexpensive. I always liked how it would have so many leaves, and every year it reblooms, and it also loves producing roots. And right now, all the roots are growing into the media, because every time the roots would become long enough, and I would just use my hand and push it down, and if it's long enough, usually it would just be, I guess, touching the wall of the inside of the cup, so that way it's not gonna, come back out. And then it just keeps growing down into the medium, into the pot. So it's pretty neat. I have always liked Pink Girl. However, because this is a grocery store phal without a tag, there's no way for me to know for sure. But based on just cross comparison and the characteristics, I really think this one is a Pink Girl. It has a little bit of fragrance, not too much. Compared to the ones that my friends have, theirs is legitimate pink girls with name tags, and those are fragrant. So I'm guessing this one is probably a pink girl without fragrance, and that's why it's a grocery store phal, because probably the entire batch just aren't fragrant, so they got sold to the grocery stores. Who knows? But if this is a pink girl, then the parentage would be, if I'm correct, Phalaenopsis, Schilleriana, and Zuma Pixie. And if you look at it, it does have that Schilleriana characteristics with a little bit of, dots, and then the color, and then where the color distribute, the pink is distributed on the top petal, and then the sepal. So I think it's likely that it's a pink girl. Either way, whether it's pink girl or not, I don't really care all that much, because this orchid is so reliable in terms of blooming every year. And this year in particular, I pay especially big attention to how its flower spike would grow. And so essentially what I do to help with that is every time if I move the orchid for cleaning purposes or for watering purposes, when I put it back, I make sure that the orchid is back at its original spot, and then the angle is also the same, so that way the light source and how it gets its light source would remain the same. And that's how you can control the flower spike, or train the flower spike to just keep growing longer and down so that it's straight. If you keep moving your orchid and then you don't care about the spot or angle when you put it back, sometimes the flower spike will simply grow a little crooked because of the different angles of light sources. So that's the only thing, because there isn't really any trick unless you want to stake it, from the base all the way to give it that, typical big grocery store Phalaenopsis. You would see the spike is being trained with a very long wire or stake, and that's because they can do that. But for this mini phal, I didn't want to go through all that trouble, so I really just wanted to make sure that it has a straight spike. And what I do is just keep it at the right place, the right angle every single time I put it back. Very simple. And because it's such a small Phalaenopsis orchid, the spike is also not that thick, so I don't really want to risk breaking the spike if I want to put like some kind of wire to anchor or train the flower spike to a certain shape. Now, in terms of care, you see it's currently in a clay pot, but underneath the clay pot there is another plastic cup. It's only an 8-ounce cup. I use it as a saucer, and the medium or media, it's a mixture of manto clay and hydrocorn, is inorganic, so there's lots of air circulation, ventilation inside the pot. So every time I give this orchid a 1/4 cup of water, a lot of the water actually would just go quickly through the media, the roots, and then will pour at the bottom. So if you look at the bottom of the plastic cup, you'll see some water pooling there, which is fine because we all know clay pot is very absorbent, it's porous. So actually when the orchid needs more water, the water can be absorbed into the clay material, which would then allow the roots and the media inside the clay pot to be able to also get that moisture. So 1/4 cup of water is indeed a little bit more than what this orchid needs, but because of the setup, the combination of the media, the clay pot, as well as the saucer, 1/4 cup is actually optimal, almost perfect for this orchid to be able to achieve that wet-dry cycle within a week. So this orchid has never been showing any signs of dehydration because I give it 1/4 cup, and because of this clay material that's soaking up or absorbing enough water whenever it needs. So it's just a very easy orchid to take care of. And of course, clay pot, the downside of that is sometimes you see some salt buildup, inflorescence, or even just a little bit of algae. Very easy to do. You just use a sponge or a cloth and just gently wipe it away. 99% of the time you can get rid of everything on the clay surface. So that's nothing to worry about if you are one of those who cares really much about the cleanliness and the aesthetics of the pots, especially clay pots. Don't worry, it's very easy to clean those things off. For me, I don't always care. Sometimes when I think of it, I'll be like, okay, I'll go and clean off some of that, get off some of that buildup and algae. But for the most part, just leave them be, because I personally think clay pots needs to have a little bit of that buildup to look rustic. Overall, I'm really happy with this orchid's performance this time around. Lots of cute small blooms and in a very, very good straight display. I love it so much, and I hope you enjoy this video too. This is all I have for you today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to get more orchid related videos from my channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification. I want to wish you happy growing, and I will talk to you in my next video. Ciao!